Before we start today's video, I would want to go ahead and ask you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our future videos. Hello everybody and welcome back to Luxurious Life, and today we'll be talking about the life and rules for former US presidents that they must follow. Number 10, the no drive rule. Probably the most frustrating rule former presidents must follow is staying away from public roads. This rule became public when George H.W. Bush revealed to Jay Leno in an interview that he had not driven on a public road in more than 25 years. Lyndon Johnson was the last president to drive on a public road, and the assassination of John F. Kennedy was a turning point in working out this security measure. Still, former presidents often enjoy driving in the secluded and private areas. Ronald Reagan, for example, is famous for driving his favorite Jeep in the area of his private ranch.
He's a man of great ideas. Now the country needs a man who can deliver.
Number 9. Staying at the presidential townhouse. When visiting Washington, D.C., former presidents are not obliged to stay at the presidential townhouse, but are often encouraged to do so because the house already has security protocols worked out. In fact, the basement of the house is designed especially for security detail. The presidential townhouse is only a minute's walk away from the White House. It was Richard Nixon who had built it to provide a stay for former presidents. George H.W. Bush used it most often, even though his wife Barbara did not like the house at all because of its Spartan interior design. The house was extensively renovated when his son, George H. Bush, was president. For our number 8 spot, we have having funding for the transition period. Once they leave office, they have a 6-month transition period during which they need to establish a new office and staff. These are considered business affairs and government matters, so former presidents receive funding to cover the cost. Unlike other financial perks, this one is provided even for those former presidents who resign from office. For our number 7 spot, we have
Ireland. We are a place defined not just by division, but by being connected to 2 jurisdictions, and indeed 2 nations, being in 2 places at once, on the island of
staying up to date with national security briefings. Even though they are no longer presidents, it is a tradition to consider former presidents as sources of wisdom and useful political advice. Because of this, former presidents regularly receive national security briefings to stay up to date with current security issues. If needed, the office of the president will ask for their advice, or they can reach out to the sitting president and offer some. Number 6. Traveling for diplomatic purposes. One of the duties former presidents have to uphold after their time in office is traveling. Former presidents travel as goodwill ambassadors of the nation, and they're upholding their duties in diplomatic relations between countries. For that purpose, they have an annual budget of $1 million that they can use for this. Their spouses have a $500,000 yearly traveling budget. Former presidents also have the right to diplomatic passports, meaning they can avoid all the hassle of obtaining visas for some nations. Number 5. Establishing a presidential library. Establishing a presidential library is encouraged by the President Libraries Act, established in 1955. Because of their actions and work in the office are considered a public service, former presidents can establish a library of presidential papers, documents, and any other written material considered important for the nation's history. Libraries are usually open to the public, and the official opening ceremony can serve the purpose of a public relations event for the former president. Some of the former presidents choose to be buried on the premise. Number 4. Having a permanent Secret Service detail. Former presidents receive a permanent Secret Service. They have the right to choose to what extent they want to be protected, but it's highly uncommon for the former president to refuse this type of protection to this date. Richard Nixon is the only former president who has stopped using the Secret Service. This type of protection also extends to former presidents' immediate family members. Their children have the right to full security until they're 16. The costs of this benefits are actually entirely classified. Number 3. Having a state funeral. In case former presidents do not make an official decision on the type of funeral, it is up to their immediate family to choose whether they will have an official ceremony of a state funeral. In the case that they do so, State Department manages the full protocol of the event. Security detail, seating charts, procession arrangement, and others alike must be worked out to a single detail, as this type of funeral is also a political event. Other world leaders and important public figures usually do attend the funeral. Number 2. Not having health benefits unless they qualify. At the end of the day, the presidency is still a job and the president is a government employee. This means that the former presidents have the right to keep their government health benefits. Still, as is the case for other federal employees, there is a requirement they have to be registered as federal employees for at least 5 years to qualify for the benefits. In case they only served one term and did not hold another federal position, former presidents will not be able to actually qualify for official health benefits, and that's pretty shocking. Number 1. Having a lifetime pension. Lifetime pension is obligatory for former presidents as it is mandated by the Former Presidents Act. The rate of the presidential pension is fixed and it usually grows annually due to inflation. The pension serves more of a role of an allowance in addition to travel, office, and security costs. Back in 2017, the annual pension was $207,800. When Harry Truman left office back in 1953, he and his family were practically broke. It was then decided that the pension should serve the role of the salary for former presidents to maintain the dignity of the US presidential seat. Well guys, that is all for today. I hope that you liked the video, and if you do, please make sure to go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any more amazing videos from us. Thank you guys so much for watching, have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you in the next video.